710 ESPN. Coming up on Lakers Talk.
All right, so we got a schedule. How about that?
What a way to restart the NBA.
Lakers versus Clippers in Orlando, July 30th.
This is what I'm talking about when the NBA just has an absolute pulse of what's going on and what its fans want. Lakers and the Clippers will be their first primetime game coming back. Are you kidding me?
What more can you ask for, Laker fans?
The Lakers and the Clippers will be teeing it off right to start things off on that first night that the NBA is back.
Lakers Talk is on the air.
And it's right now.
Some breaking news here in the last hour. So I appreciate you guys doing this. We got a lot of great topics to hit on tonight. As always, this is a show dedicated to Los Angeles Lakers basketball on ESPN Los Angeles, on Twitch, on Periscope, and on YouTube. Also, just finished my radio show. So we'll do this for about a half hour or so. Let's get started. No need to make any hesitation on this one. Dwight Howard is going to be a part of this Lakers bubble. Let me read this off. Shams Charania from The Athletic. Shams doing what he always does, which is come out with so many of these tweets, and obviously he's got some great insiders. So Lakers center Dwight Howard tells The Athletic, my NBA salary and platform while in the bubble will be used to ignite a breath of fresh air into the community. His full statement, during this time off from the game, I've been working, organizing, and putting together a plan of action, one that will help enrich the youth while providing some experiences for them by uniting families from all walks of life through a program I'll be rolling out very soon. These programs will be rolled out through curricular activities, initiatives, and real-life hands experience, bringing in new experiences to cultivate an environment so that the youth can breathe freely and be confident in every facet of their lives. Breathing new life into the community is something I am very passionate about. As said before, whether basketball and or community, I am prepared to go the distance for the win. So that's Dwight Howard. That's his statement. He was also on CNN a little bit earlier tonight as well. And he is a go to join the team on Thursday in Orlando, which means that the Los Angeles Lakers will pretty much have their full strength of schedule when they get out there. So let me start off with this on Dwight Howard. Actually, was doing the show. So on Lakers Talk tonight, how I started the show was literally started off the show talking about, all right, what are the Lakers' chances of winning an NBA championship if Avery Bradley and Dwight Howard hypothetically weren't there? That's not something we got to worry about anymore. We know Dwight Howard's obviously going to be a part of this team. I'd much rather see the Lakers try and get number 17, go to Orlando, obviously try and make it happen when they're out there. I'd much rather try and see them do that with Dwight Howard on this roster than Dwight Howard not on this roster. I did read as well, this again coming from Shams as well, that Dwight Howard will donate his remaining game checks to his nonprofit campaign, Breathe Again. So Dwight will be playing. He'll be taking the money that he's going to be making. He's going to be donating it to his nonprofit organization or campaign. And I think from a Laker fan perspective, got to feel good about having Dwight here. So is Dwight is he a necessity or is he a luxury? I think maybe he's a little bit of both. For me personally, I know Anthony Davis is going to play a lot of five for the Lakers. By the way, for those that are all on the chat, your thoughts here on if you think Dwight Howard, if this is big news for the Lakers to have Dwight as part of Orlando, or do you feel like, okay, you know what, he would have just been a role player. We could still win without him. I thought the Lakers can actually still win without him, but it's going to be key to have him there. We know Anthony Davis can play the five. We also know Anthony Davis is not crazy about playing the five, but this just gives the Lakers a ton of options. You know what I mean? A ton of options. If the Lakers did not have Dwight, I wouldn't have felt all that good about it. Even though I would have still thought the Lakers can make a run and win an NBA championship. But JaVale McGee will start the game with Anthony Davis. Now all of a sudden you obviously got Dwight Howard that could be there for, as well. Markieff Morris is another big help for the Lakers. So let me read off a couple of these comments. By the way, as always, with these comments, bring up topics, Laker topics that you find interesting or good questions, and I'm happy to get into them, okay? I'll talk Kuzma in a little bit too because I want to get some expectations on Kuz. Aniket Mohan says, Dwight is back. He'd be a bigger setback if he opted out than Bradley. I think we're going to miss Bradley. Just a heads up. I really do. Chris Montel just got a hell of a lot better. By the way, I don't think many Laker fans are going to argue with that. Dwight was, I don't know if quiet is the right way to put it, but he was kind of quietly huge for the Lakers, right? 7 points, 7 rebounds a game. But then you'd have some games where he had 12 points and 10 rebounds, and he had 3 block shots, and he gave you 19 minutes that were incredibly productive. I think you're still going to get that from Dwight Howard come postseason. So having Dwight a part of the mix is obviously big time. 8 Lakers faithful, 24. It's very big news. We need Dwight. Jameson Meza, glad that Dwight Howard is going to help the Lakers win the championship. Okay. John East, how about Cousins? I actually haven't heard much more about DeMarcus Cousins. I got a feeling, I remember, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, where it was thought that he wasn't going to play, and then Tanya Ganguly from the LA Times, I think, had connected with his agent. I haven't heard much more from DeMarcus Cousins on that front. All right, Darius Noel on Facebook. Yep, having Dwight helps a lot. Anthony Jamil can't win without Dwight Allen, so a lot of people obviously staying on the Dwight Howard front here. And let's see what we got here. Victor Ahmad's, are you going to rematch Mason? I'll think about it. I see what else we got here. We'll keep going on what we're talking about Lakers-wise. By the way, real quick, just a little roll call action here. Little roll call action. So wherever you guys are tuning in from, looks like we're finally back. I was talking, you know how sometimes somebody asked if I took another phone call. Did not take a phone call in the middle of this, just heads up. But you know how sometimes where a call might drop, but you just keep talking? That was me. I wasn't reading any of the comments. I was sitting here on the stream just talking to myself. So I think we're back. All right, Tampa, Florida, appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. Las Vegas, thank you for tuning in. So we'll get back at this thing. Maryland, thank you for tuning in. So Lakers, Hawaii, by the way, thank you. Lakers are sitting 3rd in this power ranking. All right, it doesn't make any sense to me. But I kind of like when the Lakers sometimes get disrespected because, you know, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, some of these other players, of course they look at this stuff. Belize, thank you for tuning in. Maryland, Minneapolis, Omaha, Nebraska, California, Koreatown, LA, San Jose, thank you for tuning in. But I kind of like when that happens, especially for the Lakers. Blake Show is saying Laker show got the chip this year. I thought you were going to say they got a chip on their shoulder, but look, I don't know if you guys see some of these photos that are coming out from Lakers practice. All these dudes look like they're in incredible shape. Rondo looked like it's the best shape I've ever seen the dude. LeBron James looks stupid. He looks ridiculous. Alex Caruso. Arizona, thank you for tuning in. Simi Valley, thank you for being a part of the show. Did you guys, by the way, Herman from California on YouTube, did you eat 9 hot dogs? I ate 9 hot dogs. Okay, Herman? I ate 9 hot dogs. I don't know what more else you want me to tell you. Anaheim, thank you for tuning in. Iowa, thank you for tuning in. Like fans are everywhere. All right, 2 Park. Dwight is putting some scrub on a poster in a pivotal playoff game. Trust. Okay? See that? Rondo looks like he's about to feast. Rondo looks amazing in his he honestly does. He looks like he's in incredible shape. I mean, if you guys haven't got a chance, I know you guys probably already do this. Porter Ranch, thank you for tuning in. I know you guys probably already do this, but follow Lakers on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. They're putting up these videos on a daily basis now, right? And they're grabbing them from Lakers practice. First of all, it's great just to see that there's actually, Lakers content again. We get to hear from the coach. Today we got to hear from J.R. Smith. So it's great to get all that. Maine, thank you for tuning in. The 9-dog champ, Joey Chestnut ate that many in one bite. You're not lying there. Melissa, thank you for trusting me. I believe you, Sliwa. Dwight was a beast this season. He definitely was. All right. So here's a question I got for Laker fans. We talk a lot about Anthony Davis. Talk a lot about LeBron James. We spend a ton of time, obviously, talking about the stars. And then, we spend a lot of time also talking about some of these role players. Here's my question to Laker fans out there. Kyle Kuzma. What are you expecting from Kyle Kuzma when we get into the postseason? What are you expecting? Remember, Kuzma's never been in the postseason before. So this is going to be his first crack at it. What are you expecting from Kuz? So feel free to put your comments down here, and I'll respond to them. Let me read off a couple things here real quick before I make my Kuzma case. Okay, Las Vegas, Maryland, thank you again for tuning in. All right, so this is my thoughts on Kuz. Thoughts on Kuz. Kuz has never been in this position before, ever. So Kuzma in the postseason, obviously the guy's got so much to learn. You know what I mean? Like Kuzma's in a position right now where everything he does in the postseason will be a experience. There's no history on Kuz in the post. Kuz will very likely be in the postseason before Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, some of these other young players that he got drafted with or that he's been playing with the last couple of years. So with that in mind, this is how I look at Kuz. This is how I look at Kuz in the postseason. I think he'll probably be inconsistent like he was in the regular season. And that's not his fault. I mean, that's just kind of this process of him figuring things out as he goes. There's a lot of players that, especially when they're playing with stars like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, they have to 100% sacrifice their game for the better good of the team, right? Like that's obviously going to be expected from Kyle Kuzma. That's what he's supposed to be doing. That's what he should be doing, okay? So that you can expect, I think, from Kuzma. But at the same time, I think Kuz is one of those players where he's going to have moments where we're all going to put our hands on the top of our head and say, Kuz, what are you doing, man? Got to play better defense than that. Kuz, swing the rock around. Make that extra pass. Don't take that bad shot. But I also think there's going to be times where Kuz enjoys the moment of a big-time situation, fourth quarter, a few minutes left in the game. Kuz, it's a big three in the corner. Like, I think Kuz will be a little bit all over the place. That's kind of my expectation from him. I'm not expecting the world. I feel a lot better that Markieff Morris is on this Lakers team, but definitely still expect Kuz to have some kind of presence. All right, let me read off a couple of these messages. So, Charvan on YouTube, low expectations. Frank Torres on YouTube, nothing great. Lake Show says, has to be a solid 10, 7, 4 guy. So 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. I'll tell you what, if Kuz is putting up 10, 7, and 4, I'll take that in a heartbeat. I mean, if we can get that from Kuz on a consistent basis, it'd be great. All right, a couple more of these. Man, some of you guys are just ruthless. Master Chaos says disaster. That's what he's expecting from Kuzma. Don't expect a disaster, okay? The guy will be fine. MT Cullen says limited minutes. Actually, that part will be interesting. How Kuz kind of fits into the rotation, how big of a piece he's going to be as part of the rotation. Maybe during certain matchups, he becomes more of a focal point. Other matchups, less of a focal point. So let's keep looking here. VE on YouTube, 12 points per game. Good defensive effort. That's what he thinks. Tupark is hitting real quick on the Dwight Howard stuff. I'll get to that in just a second. So a lot of people here think they'll put it together. I'm expecting a scoring punch, energy, and improved defense from Kuz. Kuz, that's coming from Young Hoop Life. I think this. I genuinely don't know what to expect from Kuz. And I think, he's going to be in a tough position this year. Like, I think his role this postseason is definitely going to be a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes, but there's enough good players on this team and enough vets on this team, they'll be able to help him. And then just over time, his experience is going to be obviously key for the Lakers as well. All right. Two Park says, Dwight coming back is absolutely huge for us. I agree. Our size has been a big advantage for us all season long. We're literally going to be monsters. And at least we have the option. You want to go big, we go big. If AD is your 5, AD is your 5. I'm getting a lot of people saying Kuz is going to put up 15 a game. William Jones, I hope some good buckets. I hope some buckets and some good defense. Matt Riggs, do you think Avery Bradley will come back? He will not. I don't think he will. Okay. I'll read off some more of these, but just in a second. What kind of questions you guys got for me? You guys got any Laker questions you want to ask? Hot dog questions you want to ask? Whatever you want. Lakers talk to, or Sliwa show tomorrow, by the way, 6:30 to 9 with Kirk Morrison. That's a good point by E to the A Preto. Depends if LeBron and AD trust and use him. Would you trust Kuz this young? Would you trust Kuz this young into his career? Never been in the playoffs before. I think it's safe to say that I think at this point, it's going to take time. I get that part, right? I think that trust factor is definitely going to take time. All right, I got a question here, by the way. A lot of Kuzma. I'm overwhelmed here with Kuzma. But just relax on Kuz, okay? Just relax for a second on Kuz. The Cheeto says, I love Kuz. I hope he finds his game and goes ham. All right, Garrett Griffin. What's our 8-man rotation for the playoffs? I don't think Lakers will go 8. Just FYI. I think Lakers are probably going to go 10. They'll probably use 10 guys. And that's not uncommon. They were using a lot of guys during the season. So if you had to say, what 10 players do I think the Lakers are going to play? Or let's say the top 8 players that the Lakers are going to play, I'll give you who I think. LeBron AD, Danny Green, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard. That's 5 right there. KCP, Alex Caruso, Rondo, Kuzma, Markieff Morris. That's the 10 that I would say the Lakers are using. Did I miss somebody? Geez, I'm missing J.R. Smith. I'm missing Dion Waiters. I'm missing Quinn Cook. I'm missing Jared Dudley. I mean, that's 14 players right there. I mean, just shows how deep the Lakers are. So, Lakers are going to use 10 players. I wouldn't be surprised if Lakers use 10 players. Okay, let's keep looking here. Is Quinn Cook going to get minutes? I'll tell you what. I wouldn't mind at all seeing Quinn Cook get PT. I really wouldn't. Especially in those 8 regular season games and maybe even that first round. Quinn Cook is probably going to have to play, when he does get into games. A lot of it is going to probably have to be about his defense, just not having Avery Bradley. I'm not saying they're going to depend on Quinn Cook. But I was actually, yesterday, I think I was watching, this shows you where I am in the NBA. I was watching some of the Toronto Raptors, Golden State Warriors NBA Finals. And there were some games Quinn Cook was getting PT. That he was coming in the finals and actually having some impact. So I don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but we'll see. All right, James Lopez, when do we all go back to King Taco? Great question. It's a great question. Well, let's just say this. If during the season we didn't do it, and this was without the quarantine and without social distancing, James, I don't know when we're going to do it, man. I just don't know. Maybe during one of these games when we can have fans again, we'll do a post-game show from the King Taco. We'll just eat a lot of tacos, celebrate the Lakers' victory. That's just my vision right now. That's just my vision. By the way, don't do this. It happens a lot. You guys start talking about tacos on the stream. It's already 9:30 right now. It's not like I could go to, well, actually, no, there's probably taco shops open. Just I'm saying, keep in mind that I already eat late as it is. I don't need any additional motivation to go eat late. All right, what else we got here? All right, VE says, trust is a strong word, but I think he's capable of contributing good minutes. And I think he's talking about Kuz. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. I even one fist bump. By the way, it's fist pump. Some people put bump. It's a pump. So those who don't know what that means, every time Lakers would get a W, I don't know how it started, but just organically when I do the stream, I do the post-game show after the post-game show, I'd come on like this, and then all of a sudden we just do it. So we could do it for now. What we really need is to get some games in. All right. Kuzma has a conflict of interest, getting paid or being a role player on a championship team. He'll get his money. Don't worry. I forgot who said it. I think it might have been Jared Dudley. I had Jared Dudley on Lakers Talk, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago or so. And I think he said one of the things he was describing about Kuz was, here's a guy who's, 6'9", 6'10", can shoot from the outside, can create for himself. Don't worry about him getting paid. Like, he's going to get his checks in the league. I definitely understand what he's talking about there. Who's getting more minutes between J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters? It's a good question. Aniket Mohan on that one. Who's getting more minutes? J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters? You guys respond. You guys can figure that one out. I think, here's the thing. J.R. Smith, more of a vet. I think Dion Waiters probably can create for his own better this stage of his career, right? So because of how much younger he is, I think he's only 28 and J.R. Smith's 34. J.R. Smith will work good, I think, with LeBron because J.R. Smith can just, go kick it in a corner and LeBron James will find him. You'd be more of a spot-up shooter. Dion Waiters, remember all season long, a lot of Laker fans were talking about Lakers need more creators. They need people to find a way to get buckets. That's one of the things that Dion Waiters can do for the Lakers. But I think Dion Waiters, to me, is more of a wild card. Is J.R. Smith a regular? I don't think a regular. I definitely think he's going to have to earn his minutes. KCP, Caruso, Danny Green. He's definitely going to have to earn his minutes. Let's see what else we got here. Thoughts on playoff Rondo? I might be the only one left that's got faith in Rondo. I don't know how quick Laker fans just completely turned on Rondo. And I understand why. There's a lot of games where he wasn't obviously putting up great numbers, but I think Rondo will be useful in the postseason. I really do. I genuinely believe that Rondo will be useful in the postseason. There'll be some opportunities where we'll watch a game and say, damn, Rondo was big there. That stretch in the third quarter, he had 6 assists. Or, man, he was really orchestrating things on the floor. Like, I do think Rondo will have value come postseason. So, for whatever that's worth, because I know there's a lot of Laker fans are not that confident Rondo. Okay, Thailand in the house. Thailand, appreciate you tuning in. Who starts in place of Bradley, KCP, or Caruso? That's Christian Fidanza. We did this last week. I might be in the minority here. I'm going KCP. I want to see KCP start before Alex Caruso. That would be my thought there. But Caruso's going to get plenty of minutes. Victor is asking me to have a hot dog. No joke, no lie. 4th of July, I had just the hot dog portion. I don't even know why I did it, but I had basically another hot dog. That's what you do when you get a W. It doesn't gross you out. You just kind of accept it. What I got to figure out now is when I give Mace another rematch. It's up to me. It's up to the champ. The champ determines when he fights again. Okay? All right, James Dotto, we are pre-partying for tomorrow. No idea what you're talking about, James, but thank you for letting me know about that. Patrick Mahomes' contract today getting $503 million. How about that? How about Patrick freaking Mahomes? He's like $1 billion away from buying the Kansas City Chiefs. He's not that far off. He's in great shape there. But, yeah, that contract from Patrick Mahomes is insane. Okay, let me see here. All right, Lake Show, what problem do you think the Lakers face entering the bubble? Appreciate you tuning in on Periscope. What problem do you think the Lakers face entering the bubble? To be honest, I don't think the Lakers got any issues. I think they're going to be as well equipped as anybody else in the NBA. I think their players, their star players, and a lot of their role players, will definitely be rested. Whatever nagging injuries were there are going to be gone. I think the Lakers will continue to have great chemistry and be the favorite to win the championship. Like, honestly, I think it's all going to come down to this. Are these players going to stay healthy, and will they test for positive for COVID-19? Those are the two things I think it's going to come down to. If the Lakers obviously have an injury or a key player is out 2 weeks in a big series, then it might be lights out. But that could be the case for everybody. Could be the case for any one of these teams.